Green. I'm totally green. I was a little late for St. Patrick's Day, but hey, I figured what the hell? Go green. Go green. Ert Radio. Let's hold it correctly here. Ert Radio. Proud sponsor of the Three Beers podcast up until this very moment. Guys, go follow Ron at mixler.com. Ert Radio, ERRT Radio, and then just set up your account and then follow us. Three Beards podcast as well. Listen to our show, which will rebroadcast on his network at 11 p.m. on Wednesdays. So, Ert Radio. All right. We are just no guest. So we are just going to be shooting the shit, just talking current events, and finding out what did Brian do with Kate? Where did she go? So I'm pretty sure he's got her somewhere. He's got her in the backyard. So we're gonna find out where is the princess? Where is she gone? We'll talk about that and more right after this. Welcome to the Three Beards podcast. My name's Craig, along with Austin and Chris.
Passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century.
Let me out.
I'm afraid that is quite justice and honor in Massachusetts colony?
All right. Now, so they said people are saying green. I mean, I could go counter it right here, but I don't really like these style hats. They don't like the trucker style. This is weird point. I don't understand this. I mean, it's like I want to.
You like a 5-panel. That's what you want.
Yeah, I don't know. Look at that. Bald.
He's got a sunroof. Craig has got the ultimate sunroof. The pill.
Gotta line it up. There we go. There we go.
I decided to do something different.
He shaves his beard. He looks like Eminem.
Yeah. Without that body that you superimposed on me.
Come on, you gotta go with the flow. Just take it. Look at that.
Curls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kind of I just forgot his name. It's a Counting Crows guy. Your hair, as the hairline goes back, you still try to keep the hair, and it just keeps coming back to where, it's to where eventually you'll have like the fro wig.
Oh,
you gonna get a man bun going?
Maria said that's better. Okay, so here I'll go. Is that better? That counteracted a little bit. All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to grow a man bun. I'm almost a ponytail.
We'll go that route. We'll deal with that. There we go.
You gonna braid it?
All right, that is better. Okay, we'll go with that. And then one of Brian's shirts.
No, in cultural, grown men shouldn't walk around with braids. I might dread it up, maybe, but
legalize it. Ever since the Marley movie came out, right? Dreads are so cool, but they are nasty.
Good evening, everybody. I got King in the house. Maria Ert Radio is listening.
Maria, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's like.
Yeah, Maria. And then I'm trying to see if I've missed anybody else. Let's see. I said King. Mark Eddie's here. There we go.
Mark,
Eddie is in the house. All right. So, Brian, where's Kate? Why do you have her tied up in your basement?
I don't have Kate in my basement. I don't know where Kate is. I haven't talked to Kate or Kate in a long time. I really do think she's dead. I think the scenario is I forgot his name, but he was the son of what's her name? Camilla or whatever it was. I think that guy and Kate were having an affair, and she was pregnant, and she wouldn't do the removal thing. Hey, Michael, and they went and they got rid of her
She was seen today.
No, she wasn't seen. Take a look at that shit. That's not Kate. That's not Kate at all.
They posted the picture, like the one that really started off was the altered photo.
Yeah.
But I've heard like rumors of that, but it's one of those, she's been, complications from surgery. And I think it was just more like the royal family is. They never like to talk about medical stuff. And so it was kind of like they rushed that out, and it was a botched job. It's like, because like I said, I'm not sure if she did. I'd be more a thing is there probably something was happening health wise, but to avoid all the stuff with King Charles and her all being, in the same type of thing, that they just kind of buried it and just hoping it goes away. But there's a lot of people saying she's gone.
I think it wasn't a botched surgery. I think they cut that freaking kid out, and she was going the route of Deanna. Maybe, just maybe she went into a witness protection program. Who knows?
Do you need me to fly over and figure it out? I mean, I can fly over there and figure it out. I mean, we'll press.
Our man on the street, Chris.
Yeah, with Three Beards Podcast, we just want to know, where's Kate? Has anybody seen Kate? Where is she?
Let's just put it this way. They had a problem with Meghan Markle. I'm not sure if they're going to let you anywhere near the royal family.
One of the okay. Let's look at this.
Hey, everybody can infer what I meant by that, but hey, it's a.
I'm a couple shades lighter, so I mean, I might get by.
No, you're a couple shades darker than Meghan Markle.
No, I don't know.
Beautiful is beautiful. It matters not what color you are. I love them all.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So there was a Jeff, got his name, but if you look into who Deanna supposedly had affair with, or look up who's Harry's real father.
Oh yeah, he was the bodyguard.
Exactly. Nah. He looks exactly.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, the bodyguard was dad.
Exactly like him. And Harry was like, if they can kill her, they're gonna freaking wipe me out because I'm not royal. And I think that was
he has no ties to the royal family at all, other than just he was Diana's son. That's it.
Yep. And on top of that, if they got rid of Deanna because she was dating Dodi Fayed and was reportedly pregnant with his baby, they don't like that. And if William is going to be king, and I think there's a lot of other things, and Kate was having an affair with the brother-in-law of whatever, dude, this family's not shy about killing people. Okay,
they should join the other list.
She is absolutely 100% dead. And if you really want to go conspiracy, I heard something today, or yesterday or something like that, which was a little bit, I'm not really buying it, but they said that a lot of people believe William is the Antichrist.
Yeah, no.
Everybody's been.
If you're going to be the Antichrist, you're the shit. Why are you coming back as a pattern bald, headed man? You're going to come back as something suave, debonair. People love you and all that other stuff.
I mean, I would have an easier time with the claim that it was, George Soros' son.
Right.
If somebody claimed, like that was the Antichrist, type thing, because it would just be, because you're supposed to be like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's women out there. Do you find them good looking? That's one of the things the Antichrist is going to be,
right.
That's the thing. It's not going to be, do you find him, irresistible, type thing. I don't think a lot of people do. I mean, I know my wife has said he's not that good looking of a guy.
Ooh.
None of them are. Deanna was
William
quite attractive to a certain degree, but William's not. William's, anything special. He is living in the shadow of Diana, whatever you want to call her. Harry is just a redheaded stepchild.
Did Harry get any money when he left? I mean, he said, "Screw that shit, I'm out of here." I wonder what kind of job he's doing. Like, I mean,
they promote stuff. They get sponsorship deals. They're making millions. The problem is, they will not give them any type of royal security, so they're truly on their own.
Maria said, he's not that good looking since he lost his hair.
Yeah.
But you can see right there. It's
Oh yeah. Look at that, dude. Come on.
he has bright red hair, the bodyguard bright red hair, the facial structures. The facial structure just in the stuff it matches more with.
Do you
Brian.
know, Brian, if he's on the Compass and Square? Do you know? I don't know. I mean, I've tried to figure it out.
I know Charles is. And I'm probably pretty sure that most people in the royal family are. And they're there because the Grand Lodge really comes out of London. That's where the primary is.
It's the Grand Lodge of England.
And yeah, the king, and yeah, he's up there. Matter of fact, if you look at some of the regalia that both the Queen Elizabeth was wearing and her husband, who is an evil fuck that just died, they have regalia. They have regalia that's very much on the square.
See, Chris is darker.
Yeah, I'm a little bit darker. She was close to being.
Meghan Markle's hot. Okay, well, let's call
She,
it like it is.
The thing too about her is everybody talked about. She actually was not. She actually did a really good job in Suits. That show. I mean, I thought her character was actually really good.
Here's what I think happened. She thought she saw like a sugar daddy in Harry. Like, he's fucking royalty. I'm gonna go marry that.
She did.
That's gonna be good. And hey, what's up, Vince? Vincent. And then he was like, by the way, my dad is the security guard and they're gonna try to fucking kill me. Oh fuck. Go ready to tell all.
Yeah, no, they're, like I said, they're living high off just the notoriety. I mean, she started a podcast, and you got thousands and thousands of people listening to every single episode, and they're terrible.
20 million plus for fucking writing a book.
Yeah,
they could write a coloring book, they'd get $40 million. What's up, Vincent? I'm glad to see you back and around, brother. He just came back to Facebook. Vincent Richardson. He's a great guy. Really, really great guy.
Facebook jail or just timeout?
Timeout. We'll say timeout.
I haven't been in timeout in a very long time.
A self timeout.
Like self, like a hiatus.
Like time off.
Oh yeah.
Hiatus. I gotta get.
No, yours is just for posting stupid shit. Yeah, you just do it. You just literally, you just literally put yourself in front of the Facebook firing squad and say, "Fire!
Fuck you, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
So.
Zuckerberg doesn't like it when you give him the finger, and you don't mind letting those fly.
He's a piece of crap. I mean, the stuff they're getting people on now is just fucking crazy. Like,
yeah, I thought it was a nice, Vincent. I thought it was a nice way to put it. I mean, it's.
You know what? I got like, well, your post goes against our community guidelines. It was like from 2012, and I'm like,
did y'all just go dig up some old shit?
No, it's the AI algorithms. They go through everything. They start, and so it's one of those things. Like say like something comes out, and like, well, say like Trump calls somebody, comes up with some new term. Well, what they'll do is then that term will become the next hot potato. What they do is they plug that into the system, and then that thing goes through, and it just finds anything and everything that talks about that, and it instantly gets flagged. Is inappropriate and goes against community standards and is taken down. And it's all, a lot of it's retroactive. That's why when you get those warnings, you're like, this post was for 2015. Why the hell, the best part I think out of all of it is the fact that most of the posts that people have on Facebook, we got off Facebook.
Yeah.
You shared it from another thing. And you get busted, but the original poster, nothing.
That's what bothered me. Like, wait a minute. I just shared it. I didn't post it like that.
Yes.
Why are you giving me crap?
That like.
Right? Why are you giving me crap? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm like, wow, this sucks.
Laura, you just met. We were just talking about Kate So you could chime in on what your thoughts are too. Is she been disappeared, or is she because she won't play ball? She's kind of like Miscavige's wife that has not been seen for years.
Yeah,
from the Clearwater Crazies.
From the Clearwater
That's what we call them, so we don't get the. Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, that's what I refer to this organization that's located on the west coast of Florida. I call them the Clearwater Crazies. It's a church that's located in Clearwater, Florida.
I mean, yeah, if you post that and stuff, but I'm still proud that I just shared something. I never got hit for this post.
Yeah, but now we will.
Nope. You have to be a history guy to get it, but it was great. It's a good post.
Yeah, it's one. I'm sure it's like because of it being, the soldier is like. I'm surprised that it didn't get touched. I am surprised.
Right, because they were like, "What's that all about?"
She was, Michael Anthony. He said there too that Princess Diana was not the real princess. That's the thing is, I just saw. Sorry, I missed that thing. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just you're married into the royalty. So like Diana was never, she's not a blue blood. Kate Middleton, not a blue blood. You've got Camilla. She the same thing. Not a blue. They've been married into it.
I think there is a relationship somehow, distant type of relationship to royalty somewhere. I think that's one of the. I mean, I think there's supposed to be requirements, but I mean, like, look at Charles, right? Love is deaf, dumb, and blind. Look at Princess Diana, and then look at what he wanted to be with. Camilla. He loved her. He wanted to be with her. They said no. They need a person for the people and whatever. And I don't blame him, but is what it is.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's for me. It's one of those. You kind of look at it. It's like, why are you cheating? You've got an incredibly attractive spouse. It's like, why are you cheating on somebody that is clearly not anywhere near in the same attractive scale?
Who are we talking about now?
Right.
Like Charles, he cheated on Diana with Camilla, and Camilla is nowhere near the beauty that Diana was. And
Right.
the rumor that Prince William, is cheating on somebody, she is nowhere near the level that Kate is. And you look at it and you're like, what the heck are you? It's like, how does this happen? Yeah, and that's the joke is apparently they'll do that one thing that they like. It's like,
Oh, bloody good. That's so bloody good. Keep doing it, Camilla. Bloody good.
yeah, that's the thing. I think because honestly, the real kind of like what Charles is saying. I'll have to look. Let's see. Keep scrolling.
Yeah, you
like
have to have minimum pedigree.
Pedigree, but I don't think it's like so much as in like blood. I think it's just it's connections. You got to have the connections thing.
I think it based off a knighthood or whatever.
Yeah, it's but I don't honestly think that there was any blood relation between the two. I think you had the connection. Yeah, lizards.
Thing, King.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in that they're lizard people. It's one of the, for me, the biggest, I'll like go in the little soapbox. The biggest thing for me for that one is, I can't remember who said it with somebody on the show, but they were talking about, ants are beneath us. We don't care about the daily lives of ants. We don't go around secretly tiptoeing, making sure the ants don't know we exist. We stomp through their nest and we just wreck it up, killing them. So if these creatures were literally our superiors and we were just food, what's with the secrecy? We should all be knowing our dawn. We should be like the time machine movie, and we all know there's the reaping, and we all have to go to the circle, and some of us are taken. I go, that's the thing. Is this whole thing, the secrecy. Why? If they're that superior, there's absolutely no reason to keep themselves secret from Chris, Craig, and Brian. You just come up and say, guess what? One of you guys is coming to be on dinner. They could care less.
There is a reason, and it goes outside of that because they're part of the reptilians come from a specific planet, galaxy, and there are other extraterrestrials in the world, and they could unite, spark off a huge conflict that they're not prepared to deal with it.
But it's the same thing. It's like all these aliens. Why not just come? Why the secrecy? Come up and just smack us in the face. It's like, hey, you sit down. You know, you're out. I mean, that's what I said. I like if they're that superior, they could care less. I mean, like I said, I could care less what the black ants think when I come trudging through their little nest that they just made. I'm like, oh, stupid ants! I don't want you in my driveway.
You just
start kicking those fire ants
with the ants and all this other stuff. We are so violent that if they did come forward, we'd be violent towards them. They don't want
the fire ants are violent. Those little bastards bite you.
No.
I'm like, I don't care. I just wreck the living hell out of those nests, and they bite the living crap out of my ankles as I'm doing it. I'm like,
no,
little things.
You get the white pussy bubble. Oh man, they suck.
Yeah. That's kind of just. I know it's silly, but I'm like, that's just kind of the thing. It's like be like, we're violent. And I'm like, yeah, they could care less. I'm like, if you have that superiority, it's like literally Mars attacks. You know, we're gone. I'm like, what do they care?
Dave, what matters? David Buter matters. That's what matters.
Yeah.
You matter, Dave.
But you know what? You know what? Ants are from the devil. The tree ants. Them motherfuckers hurt. I don't care what nobody says.
What about those? Yeah.
The tree ant from the oak tree. That bitch hurt. How your whole shit swole up.
Yes, lot lizards are different. Those will give you a whole different kind of burning.
Yeah.
The
they have those ants that you have to do a test to see if you're a worry. Fire ants, you put your hand in the glove, and the longer you stay there, the more of a worry you are, and they bite the fuck out of you.
David, I'm not kidding. That needs to be printed and put on the fridge as a little statement.
I've known Dave since I'm 5-6 years old, so that is good. We're gonna keep that. That's gonna be a good quote, Dave. I'm gonna definitely make a shirt out of that one.
Yep. How long does it take a monkey with a wooden leg to kick the seeds out of a dill pickle?
Come back next week. We'll find out. What I don't know if you saw. I mean, like I joked around in my post, but I was with the kids have the week off now up in Florida, right? So it's like their spring break or whatever, or they get paroled for a week before going back to all the schools that look like correctional facilities. And as we're driving down one of the roads, my daughter goes, "Yeah, I saw there was a Florida Panther there." I'm like, guy wearing hockey jersey at your school? No, a real panther. She described it's like had the black tail, looked like a tiger. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty.
Did you rip that jersey off and start punching?
No. But I was like, it's kind of weird. Florida Panthers do exist. As a whole boatload of them. But I mean, I know I see a whole bunch of cougars at the school every day at 3:00, but I never saw a panther. It's good to know, though.
Yep, they don't get Michelin stars at trailer parks.
Yeah, yes, they don't. That was the original quote I was trying to put up there. I know, I fucked it up.
But you can find Michelin tires.
Yes, you can. I'm not.
Yeah, it's a
tire guy, though.
Yeah, this one. I mean, in a way, that's kind of a little bit like what we're talking about. So, maybe it's like Predator. You got to come down here and you got to mingle with us for a little while and see if you can survive, and then go back.
Florida is a totally different animal, man.
No, I don't know. That's just the thing. It's like cut it back to that's why I have a hard time with the lizard people are among us and they're staying secret. I was like, dude, I'm like, if you're that much more superior, it's like, it's kind of, you take whatever, like a cartel leader. They're not walking around in secrecy. They're flying in and saying, see that guy that just looked at me wrong? Yeah, I'm gone. And he's taken out. He's hanging from the tree the next day. I mean, it's just like you said. There's like all these things. Like, why, if we're food and we're so beneath them, why the secrecy? Nobody would be able to withstand it. You just be like, hey, I know it sucks, man, but you got to go in the cave. It's your turn. Sorry, Brian. They drew your, it's like the Hunger Games, literally. Beard number one. Who are we referring to as beard number one?
I'm not number one.
About my favorite first date. It's got to be it's my wife.
It's a dating game. Good answer.
Yeah, if we're talking about like date with it was my wife because she wanted to ensure that I wasn't some creep or psycho. So she drove herself down to the movie theater. We met there. And so our first date was the movie. We went and saw the movie Seven. So that for anybody that doesn't know, that's the serial killer movie with Kevin Spacey.
What's in the box?
And that's that line. I use that every time I come home and I see an Amazon package on the counter. What's in the box? What's in the box? Yeah. So I don't know if Chassie's on here too, and she actually posted that thing. It's like, what's your favorite line? That's the line I use. What's in the box? And that's if you haven't seen that movie, Chris, you need to watch that movie. It's both creepy and incredibly well done.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, it's actually, it's not like it's a spoiler alert. I mean, it's been out for a long time,
for years.
Yeah, it's just
like Darth Vader.
The way they do it was a whole new take on the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah,
it was just the way they did it. Was it. If you want to talk about like what a serial killer would strive to achieve, that would be the swan song. That would be like the ultimate thing to do, with just the way they lined up the movie, because that's what it would be the glorious purpose of the serial killer. It's just that's what they achieve their ultimate goal.
Yeah,
and so it's because it's. And that's one of the things I was like, I won't give away too much, but yeah, 30 years. Yeah, it's a classic, but I mean, it's really good. I mean, but that's also Chassie. That's also the sad part too, is Austin was 6 months old when we started dating. And Chris was going on 10.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's, to put in perspective, like age. So yeah. So that's one of the things. So he would have been 10. So I really doubt Mom and Dad would have taken him to see a Kevin Spacey serial killer movie, even if they were watching movies. I doubt it.
I took my youngest to see all these movies, but she was in a bucket. So, she was a baby. So she liked Quentin Tarantino, a lot of the gore.
But are you talking about first you cut a hole in that box, stick your junk in that box? No.
No.
Ever?
No.
It's in a box. Ooh.
Stick in the box.
Yeah, that's Chassie. I was 10 too. Yeah. See, I'm an old man.
Let's go with that. And the dick in the box.
No.
That just sounds hilarious.
So good.
But it wasn't as good as the first one, but their sequel to it, I'm a Mother Lover, was pretty good too, because it shows them when they get out of jail and they're taking the box and they throw them in the trash can, and they're like, "What's up, dog? I forgot it's Mother's Day." It's they go, it's like, let's get our mothers, let's get her present. It's like, it's like, I love my mom. I love my mom too. Why don't we change? And then the whole song is about being a mother lover. Oh yeah, I said it was pretty good. Yeah, that's Buc-ee's. Yes. You see, somebody got banned for life from Buc-ee's.
Oh, what the hell did they do?
Happened?
They brought in their service duck, and they refused to take the duck out of the Buc-ee's.
There's a guy that has a service alligator. He tried to bring it to a game.
I think there's some people that it's one of those things they try to do it.
Like, who can have the strangest freaking service animal?
Well, like the thing is, their whole point. I mean, I see Buc-ee's saying, okay, if something scares the duck and the duck goes flying away, you're going to have feathers and stuff all in the fudge and the brand new brisket that they just announced and they're pulling out. Next thing you know, you got duck feathers and of course, as most people know, when ducks take off, you know, they gotta make sure they drop anchor, and so you can just have
release.
That's freaking hilarious. I swear my duck is tamed. My duck is tamed. No, get your duck out of here, sir.
Chassis, believe it or not, this was not Florida. This was, I believe, in it's either, I want to say it's Tennessee.
Oh,
Tennessee, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went in there, and the guy brought in, and people are like, well, you can't have it, and he said, yeah, this is kind of like a service comfort animal, and this is a duck, and I can't remember what the duck's name was, and so they told him, it's like, well, service animals, you need to have a leash, and so he went over like mine, like he's put a leash on it, and they're like, yeah, we're not having this, sir, out. And so there's a good chance he might have been from Florida. I mean, but
I mean,
as far as I know, he's in Tennessee.
All I can tell you is you could have that duck, and they could serve that up. Duck up, you know. These ducks out
roasted duck.
Roasted duck.
Did you see the couple that came from Georgia that couldn't just read about Florida Man? They had to come and figure it out. So they're on the beach in Volusia County, completely obliterated. They're drunk. They got beer cans all around them. The police come up and says, hey, wake up. So they finally get up, and the officer's like, where's your kids? They had a 7 and a 9-year-old, or 7 and 11-year-old. And the guy goes to the water. He's drunk as shit. He's like, hey, where are you? Mind you, they found them at a pool at a resort by themselves. So then the wife's cussing him out like she didn't do nothing. And she didn't have no parts in getting drunk as well. She's like, who's going to fucking bond us out? You were drunk too. So then the guy takes off in handcuffs, and he falls and knocks himself out on the sand. And he ended up going to jail. Look at his face. You can Google it real quick, Chris. His face is like messed up, but they're literally on the beach obliterated. The officer yells like 4 times to wake him up. And I'm like, holy shit. You couldn't just read about...
That's a special talent if you knock yourself out in sand.
He did. Craig, he took off running in handcuffs. Full dolphin. Boom. And his face is like black and blue and all fucked up. He was literally knocked himself out. I'm like,
I thought he was drinking.
He thought he was playing beer run game.
I'm looking it up right now, see if I can.
Oh, it should pop right up. It's like I posted it on Facebook. I didn't really get any traction on it, but I said you couldn't read about Florida Man. You had to come be a Florida Man. That didn't work out well for you.
Yeah, I see. I'm sure I can.
Don't bring up hippos, Dave. We already know from James. One of our friends is from South Africa, and I said I always wanted to I was going to get a baby hippo and put him in the canal behind my house. Like, look, that's my pet hippo. And James is like, hippos are fucking assholes. And I'm like, what? Yeah, what about a rhino? Rhinos are fucking assholes. I'm like, apparently, when you have a hippo, within 3 years, they kill their owners.
For real?
Oh, for real. He's not kidding. And rhinos and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's too good of a...
It would have been a cool pet.
Yeah, it'd be a cool pet until, obviously it gets big.
And bust your ass.
I mean, come on, you have a hippo in the back canal, it'd be freaking awesome. Baboons, biggest assholes. Yeah, they do. All
right, here's what Chris was talking about here. I think I found the right one.
Florida Man.
Yes.
I'm your Florida Man.
It's about it's a little 2 minutes long. So here, this couple is just like passed out on the beach.
They're obliterated.
Sheriff's office. Time to wake up.
Let's see.
Hey guys.
Let's see here. Is it? So waking him up. She's like, here comes Buddy.
Hey, where are your kids? They're right there.
They're right there.
Here and then here.
Yeah.
Where's your ID? I don't have mine. I don't know. So give him your ID. That's what he wants your ID.
They don't. They're not going to show this. They're not going to show him getting face planted here.
Yeah, but literally he takes
party foul. Maybe this is the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, here. So she's getting in there, and then this is probably about the time he decides he's going to take off running. Oh.
He's knocked out.
he's out. Yep. Yep. Welcome to Florida.
Dude, he knocks himself out. You got to do a special basket to knock yourself out on the sand. I wonder what part of Georgia they were from.
Oh, that's awesome.
They may have been from Dumbfuck, Georgia. Sorry,
No, that's
the Georgians in the office.
I learned when somebody asks you a question, don't even try to answer it because they already knew the answer. Hey, where's your kids? Oh, they're over there. No, they've been in another pool at another resort for about 2 hours unattended. And somebody finally told them, they're like, let's go find your parents. Parents obliterated on the beach.
And people want to know why I don't drink. That's it. That's like when you go on Chris is a cruise guy. When you go on cruises, if you leave your kids on the cruise, this has happened. Couple leaves their kids on the cruise and one of the daycare thingies there. They go off. They don't come back in time. The cruise ship is pulling out. Yep. Their kids are on the boat and they are stuck in whatever destination they are, and they have to figure out a way to get back to the next one. How about them apples?
Yeah.
No, like I said, according, I was looking up here, like some of the current stuff, like we're talking about. It looks like Taiwan is potentially, like I said, this is from the express.com, but they say that Taiwan has officially confirmed the presence of U.S. troops are going to be stationed on an island in the Taiwan Strait.
Yeah, of course they are.
Which is going to make everything with China really calm.
There's been predictions of something coming at the end of this month, early next month, by the future forecasters. I actually have a prediction. I contacted some people over there. There's going to be some kind of event. I basically saw something that looked like a vortex and rockets and what looks like a mushroom type of cloud. Not saying it is, in the Middle East. And there's going to be another.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was one, because it was probably, it's going to be Iran's probably going to do a test.
Well, I also, for 2 years, I didn't do it yet this year, but I do a remote view for 0 to 18 months, and I saw a war with China. It was the U.S., Australia, and believe it or not, India, which threw me. With China did something stupid, and we responded, and we got rid of China. Was done. They were gone. Bye. See you later.
Well, I said that a few shows ago. It's just that's the thing out of this conflict in Ukraine, and you can clearly see that the money that, even though it's incredibly excessive, you can definitely see the superiority between our equipment and the stuff that's been made that China, Russia, and stuff have in their arsenal, because you can see just the quality, difference, that it is superior. And that said, the only thing that China really has going for it is, and we'd had this discussion with Chris, I said, because the rule was like China knew at any point they could topple Russia, because all they had to do is just march 1 million people across the border, surrender. And then the next day, do the same thing. And eventually you can't handle the population. In China, that's their thing, is the numbers game. But like you said, with India joining in, that cancels that out.
Let me explain this to you. So I've known that there are groups, both Russia has done this, other countries have done it in the West, and the US does it. They run simulations, and they've run Russia versus China, China wins. US versus China, China wins. NATO versus China, China wins. US, NATO, and Russia versus China, China wins. Because this is why I couldn't figure out, we won. I mean, China was done. And it was explained to me while I was in the View. everybody believes the reason why China was always winning on those is because they made the assumption that everybody in China would be part of the war. So China, like you said, pure numbers. They miscalculated because of 100% of the Chinese population, no more than 10% max is part of the China, the CCP, the Communist Party. The rest of China, leave me alone. They do not want to be involved in it. So in real theory and practice, China does not have the numbers to do a conflict.
No, they would have to march, by force
And it would
across. Well, right now it would, because the people are broken, just like in North Korea.
Now they're pissed off right now, and all those people that were communists, there's a lot of defecting. During the Sea event, over 250 million Chinese were unalived, and they burnt them in a mass grave, which was visible from the ISS.
He said unalived.
Now, how many?
250 million.
That number sounds way too high.
It's not. Go look it up. There was 250 million phone numbers that just became.
Well, I can see like somewhere in the low millions. 250 sounds like a Nancy Pelosi number.
It's not. It's 250 million.
Yeah, that sounds like one of those where it's like 500 million people, are now have now got new jobs under this president type. That sounds like one of those the numbers, because 250 million. That's one of those things you couldn't hide that.
Yes, you can.
No, there's no way. 250 million people suddenly gone. That's almost a quarter of their population. Their manufacturing alone would plummet. It was to get rid of. Yeah, but that one I would that number I would call into question. I'd have no problem that they did that to people. Absolutely, because we saw the videos of them boarding people up in the buildings and lighting it on fire.
They said almost 250 million people in China may have caught the sea thing.
Mm-hmm. The sea thing, but they wouldn't have. They didn't burn them all. Like I said, I can see like 250,000. I can see that.
Look this up, and you will see.
Well, no, I mean I can look it up, but I seriously would question that number, because that would be something that you would see the smoke plumes over here from that burning.
I just told you that it was visible from the ISS, a huge fire, and it was in rows, and they saw it. And they reported on it. It's all in the news. Go look. Yeah, no,
that number of people. I would seriously call into question that number, because, like I said, that would affect everything. Their manufacturing, everything would go.
They have
way
billions
down.
of people.
They only have, I think, is 1.4 or 1.5 billion. So you get 250 million. You've almost taken that's a fifth of their total population.
That's the number.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. Well, I mean I can look. I would call in question those numbers being reported, because one, China's not going to let those numbers out, and two, how would you total that? Because I mean, like I said, that would have a drastic effect. That's Maria. I said that would be one. You wouldn't be able to hide that.
Nah,
it wasn't hidden. I'm telling you, they saw the fire.
Well, they saw the fire, but I said that could have been a lot. That could have been like 250 million people. That's not something that's. That would be wall to wall. UN sanctions.
Shit, we'd smell the smoke over here. Shit.
Yeah.
Let me say something. I work for the UN. They ain't going to be sanctions. China is just very, very corrupt and nasty. They keep things very private over there, and the government knows. They know it, because the next day 250 million new phone numbers were available.
Yeah, as I said, I would.
Other phone numbers.
Yeah, I would just. That's what I said. It's one of those things. Those numbers, I would. If you drop 3 zeros, I'd be like right there. Yeah, I could believe that.
It's nothing to. You can actually look the numbers that were released for the phone numbers. You understand this item is the most important thing in China.
Oh yeah. Well, with
your job.
when you own it, you could disconnect every single person's number and then reissue a new number.
No,
I mean, that
didn't
would.
work that way.
Well, no, that's
it
why.
was
That's
all reported. Everybody was talking about it.
well.
This was-
That's the thing. They report it, but it's like that would. This would not be hidden from CNN. This would be on Fox News, CNN, ABC. It'd be across the board.
There were images of the numbers. There was reports of the numbers. There was downloads of the numbers. There was also images from ISS. There was audio from ISS. This is all valid. If you don't want to go look for it, I'm just telling you what took place.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you can see the smoke. Yeah, you'd be able to see a smoke plume from 250,000. But dude, like I said, I would be one of those things. I would call them. I would not be willing to stake my fortunes and everything on that number being valid. That's the thing. I would not, just because go
take a look. You're going to be very surprised.
Well, yeah, Bob's blog. Bob's blog's not going to validate it. Yeah, like Bob's China, China communist, are bad. Blog is not going to be the best validation for him.
We the China people.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like this. People disappear, but I mean, I've seen people claim like millions of people have disappeared. I'm like, dude, somebody would talk about that if they disappeared, especially in the Western side. I mean, you would see these people gone. You can't it's not like the 50s where you can make a town disappear anymore. There'd be somebody talking about, hey, blah, blah, blah town no longer exists in Arizona.
China, that is untrue. You do not know shit about China because it wouldn't be out. China does things. They sell body parts.
You just made my point. Literally, you just uttered my argument. It's like China would not let those numbers out. That was my whole point.
The numbers are. You have to register phone numbers. It's all part of a registration process.
Well, like I said, the numbers, that could be simply, they no longer like that, and they wipe them all out, and they issue a whole new sets of numbers. No, it's just like monetary policy. They don't have to follow the rules. They make them up as they go.
That said he went missing, and now his numbers available. It's been done there.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said. I would be willing to go probably as high as 2.5 million. I said, but it's like
250 million people.
But 250 million people just burn in a mass cremation. I said that would make
a genocide.
Yeah, you couldn't hide that.
They'd be everybody talking. My one was burnt in China and even in the U.S. I've been trying to reach John.
You're talking about the same people, the news that's supposed to report about how good this jab was, right? And it's safe for you, and everybody thinks it's safe, right? Let's not. Who gives a shit about what the mainstream media says? Like, you need to broaden your research beyond the mainstream media. You really do. You'll be surprised. No, you'll be surprised. You're quoting like, hey, CNN won't be on it. CNN lies about everything. You ever see the video with every news station, no matter if it's CBS, ABC, or CNN, they're all saying the same fucking script, and it starts with 1, then it goes to 2, then it goes to 4, then it goes to... Give me a break. It's not going to be on the news. You have to look at alternative sources. And one of them was Telegram. The other ones are boards. So cut the crap with the whole, it'd be known by everybody. It wouldn't. China would not.
250 million people would be, you'd have it on that video where you can make a montage of everybody talking about that. That would not be something people would ignore.
I need a drink of tequila while y'all discuss
this. Do you think the Chinese Communist Party is going to confirm what they do? Do you know they sell body parts? I mean, they kill people on a daily basis. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just what it's just like on that one. Don't want to beat a dead horse. No, that's the one thing I would.
All of us.
Yeah, it's all the same news, but yeah, that's what I said. I would not be willing to stake my fortunes upon a 250 million number. It would definitely be less.
On somber brighter news, did anybody see the drunk white boy that staggered off from Nashville, and he hasn't been seen?
I don't know how that's brighter news.
I said on the somber news, he walked
No, I'm pretty sure you said brighter, and that's why I was like, I'm not sure if that's on a happier note. Did you see the guy that wandered off and hasn't been seen since? How about that? Have you seen this? Did you hear about this? Have you seen this?
His fraternity. I didn't say brighter. Maybe I did, but no. On a somber note, Did you see the kid that walked off in his fraternity? Nobody left the club with him? Like, I mean, you're
No.
there for a fraternity party and you get kicked out of the club and nobody decides to walk with you out of your whole fraternity. I don't know. I call cap on that. They found his credit card by the river. Now they're shutting off the dam about 1,200 miles away because they think he might have washed down the river into the dam. But they don't know where he went. He spoke to a cop. He was clearly intoxicated. Who knows?
And as like Calvos was saying too, yes, that was freaking phenomenal.
What?
That Starship, their third launch. All the Raptor engines ignited flawlessly. That thing went, that separation was
I didn't see it.
perfection. That thing separated perfectly and it ignited. The only, like you said, that
promotion.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He's maybe getting a promotion to go from Starlink to Starship, technician. That's,
Are we
Yeah,
talking about a giant penis?
no, that's Blue Origin.
Blue Origin is a giant.
That's Bezos's. Starship, man, that thing, it's, the testing is coming by. The leap that they made from launch 2 to launch 3 makes me think right now that I think launch 4, if it goes as good as launch 3 did, I think we could probably see see the actual Starship come back and attempt a landing, as well as the booster coming down and trying to land. And if that works, then Calvus obviously he'll have more information because he actually works for SpaceX. That probably by the 5th or 6th ship, we're probably gonna be knocking on the doors of going live without with people being on board and actually doing a manned mission.
That's good.
Yeah, and that one was, yeah, because that's the thing. It's like they got some serious data, to know, and that was the thing. Just the fact that it actually started to burn up. I mean, the booster, it came down. I mean, it was going pretty good, and then all of a sudden, you could see in the video, you could see it starting to do this wobble, and then that's when they hit the termination, and then blew it up.
Yep.
That was a fireball. So yeah, that was so that. Congratulations to SpaceX. We're one step closer to putting us on Mars to start mining. Got to get those rare metals.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, because I think, I was, it's good. I wasn't sure where the drone ship was supposed to be. Yep, that right. We talking about those cameras. Awesome placement of those cameras, by the way. That did not help the flat earthers. That went up, and oh my Lord, was that a curve? Did you see that curve? That was a beautiful curve. You could see the ball, and it had a perfect, nice little arc. I go, it was. When I was going up, I was watching that. I'm like, oh, there are some flat Earth people that are having a bad day right now. Very bad day, because that ruined their whole flat disk theory really quick. Yeah, because it was. But yeah, that was the. I don't know. It's the problem. Problem is, Maria. They have to send some blue collar people. They have to, because we can't PhD, like the PhD botanists and stuff like that. They're not going to build the structures. It's got to be guys like me, Chris, Brian. We've got to have these bodies that go up that do the grunt work. It's not going to be the four PhD astronaut that gets this. It's going to be like Calabos. Like, it would be guys like him getting on the thing to go up there and turn the screws, because that's what's going to have to happen. I mean, look at this.
Not
People you see on
robots?
ISS right now, you think they're going to assemble panels
No,
on the
I'll go
Martian
drive a
soil?
I'll go drive a garbage truck up there.
What about AI robots?
Well, that's what it'll. Calvin might be, he might be able to answer that one too. It's I was wondering about that, if that was part of the push with Musk trying to get these AI, robot going, is that was going to become the workforce. And then I was wondering about that. If that is happening, do we end up with WALL-E, where all of us are just zipping around in little chairs on the starship, just becoming fatter with our drinks, because the robots are doing all the work?
If it acts anything like his Tesla product, they'll just stop in the middle of everything.
Yes,
and won't move.
Okay, that's a problem. You can't speak about NDAs. But Maria, that is the unfortunate thing. They've already said probably the first. Calvis can he can obviously correct me because he'd know this better. But I want to say that the right now they're thinking is probably the first at least three missions right there are one-way tickets. There's no possibility of coming back, because the infrastructure won't be in place. You won't have this thing, and because of the early iterations of it, you'll have such catastrophic effects on bodies, on everything, that you won't, the physical ability for people to return really won't be there. And it won't be until later when we start figuring out some of the things like 2001: Space Odyssey, when you can have the artificial gravity and stuff to where you can actually maintain yourself.
What are you doing, Craig?
Yeah, exactly. What's going on?
Hey, Hal, open the door, would you? I can't do that, Craig.
Yeah. Elon said that because that's what I said. I know the first trip for sure. It's a one-way trip. That's your graveyard. You're going to be buried on Mars. Oh, there's no way, because you won't have any way of returning, because we won't have the infrastructure in place. And most likely you'll have probably, because I think the Starship is slated to hold somewhere between 200, 250 people is what the thinking, if I remember right, it was like what they thought would be able to capacity. And you'll probably have at least 10% of those people will probably die during transit.
It's a 6-month window, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a 6-month window, and you're going to have, just from medical issues, because you're going to have the stress of the takeoff. So if somebody has a heart attack, obviously there's not going to be any, trauma team to, do massive, procedures. And so, yeah, Cal's 150 with supplies. So 150.
Yes, if somebody does have a heart attack, it's going to be just the computer voice that comes out and goes, fatality.
Yeah. The little capsule turns red and you just watch it shoot out. That's a question. Are we creating humans for living on Mars? And they said, and then also Woo Riders did that. What about the Mars 20? I'm not a huge believer of that 20 and back program. Is it possible that people are remote viewing and doing this stuff? They've been part of a program. Yes. Is it something that they've literally been on Mars for 20 years and come back? No, because of the gravity issues. They would show alterations of some kind.
Again, let's go into something that's a little bit more speculative, because it depends on who you believe or whatever. But there are people that report that there are jump sites and stargates, and they've been on Mars for a long time. And there's stuff up there, and they can jump from point A to point B, and that's what these stargates are designed for.
Actually, but the actual been on Mars for 20 years.
There are people that will swear they've been on Mars for 20 years. They've even talked about it, but are you going to believe them? No, because it's like, well, we have a Stargate, and then people are like, yeah, we'll prove it. They can't prove it.
They can't. I know, because unfortunately, you look at that person like the guy that's walking around the street, meowing like a cat.
Yeah,
I am a cat, and it's just, it's just.
I know of people talking about jump rooms and Stargates and portals, and they've been working on a lot of that stuff.
Because is it possible for like the tech to have been there? But it's just one of those things. Calbut's, he kind of just brought up too. It's just there would have to be some medical tell, because the gravity is different. Just everything is different there. So you would go through some alteration on that thing, because that'd be one of those things when people like the few generations after people, like when he gets there, like he wants to go there after you've been there, I think it's the kids or the grandkids are going to start. Those will actually become like the first true like Martians, because you'll have a whole different, they're probably going to be taller. You'll end up starting to have like where the average person is going to be in the mid 6 foot to 7 foot range because of the gravity issue.
What we're talking about here is we're talking about what is known publicly, the information known publicly, versus information that is not known publicly and is more compartmentalized and deep state and eyes only and all that other stuff programs. So yeah, we're going off the information like, there would be an anomaly in their blood and it would be detectable and whatever, but you're assuming that this person would be coming back and someone would grab their blood and whoever comes forward. Yeah, we don't know. No one knows what was taken from them. They very well could do it. I can tell you right now that if you went out in the woods and you actually came in front of a Bigfoot and you got a blood sample and you brought that blood sample into a place to get DNA for it, you got the 10 grand for it, go for it. The minute that DNA hit their computer, that sample would go disappear. So you're talking about things that are like what we get to see, and then there's a world that nothing about, and I know nothing about, and other people do know some partial about it. And then there's a world within that world that only the people that need to know about it. And they've hidden things forever. They've hidden,
because you would have like, I think like that lab tech would be like that did it. It's like, holy crap, I've never seen, this genome sequence. Right. I've never sseen the structures.
And maybe that lab tech disappears along with the sample.
Yeah, it was
I you know what?
Well, that's the thing is, I think you could, like I said, you're going to have those ones that, they still stick to the program. It's just, that's where I said that, I think a few shows ago, because MK Ultra is there. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's an actual program. These are things that they actually worked on. And I've often like a hypothesis where for me, it's just like that. I think some of these things, like the abductions, the stuff like this, are false memories that have been implanted.
I agree with you.
As a test. And that's why I said, like, these 20 and back things, I would not be the least bit surprised if that's what this is. This is a program to see what the effects, think Total Recall. They literally put the Mars vacation program in these people, and they could have sworn they've been to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it is. I mean, because there's a lot of times, like, you see some of these people that are talking about it, and I swear that's what they were doing. Cooking something in a spoon.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah.
This happens, but what that does, those MK Ultra program, the people that come out of those programs that are either rescued or deprogrammed to a certain degree, they still have some of that element, and then they start talking about it, and you think they're freaking crazy. And it's fine. The people that are in power, like, yeah, go ahead. They think you're nuts. No one's believing you. Maybe 0.25% believes you, and the rest of them think you're crazy. And they're fine with those odds. But I mean, look at how many people go missing in Alaska alone a year.
Oh yeah, that's bear kill. That is falling in those nice crevasses that are hundreds of feet down. I bet you when we have the great thaw off, that you're going to find a lot of bodies. It's going to be like up at Everest. They're going to be all there in various forms of frozen.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe there's a whole bunch that are frozen. I do believe a whole bunch purposely go missing because they want to be missing. And then I believe there are people that are taken and experimented on.
Oh yeah, there's probably no doubt that some hippie that's out there hiking.
My mind is way open, King.
Yep.
As it was said, you won't believe what you wouldn't believe.
That makes
That's
sense.
just my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just that's why there's a few people that it's like they want to go. That's the thing. Is if you can get there, then you can actually see it for yourself.
I mean, I'd like to go to be able to go back and forth to space and see it.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
But I don't want to go to Mars and live there.
Well, soon, like I said, the moon. That's going to be. I mean, because that's heating up. It's like people keep dropping. We're getting to the point to where I'm surprised. Actually, I'm surprised Elon has not done a lunar lander yet. I really am surprised that SpaceX has not put a lunar lander on the moon. Just with their abilities to launch rockets. I mean, right now, Blue Origin they look like amateur hour. I mean, SpaceX is, Blue Origin is like, look, we're gonna build this one, and SpaceX is like, that's cute. Watch how many we can launch in a 24-hour period. It's just, they're like, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm just surprised Elon has not done that. Like actually, already put a lab on the moon. Just got, just to show it's like here we can do it. I was surprised.
That may be a good idea, like kind of like having a Buc-ee's in space. Just put something on the moon and use the moon as the launch vehicle to go to Mars.
Well, I thought that was one of the thinking was that was going to become like a jump point.
Yeah.
Go there, kind of prep, do stuff, and then go from there. Like that'd be a lunar base. But yeah, it's like ULA. Like so even ULA is night and day ahead of Blue Origin.
Maybe he hasn't got clearance to do it.
No,
That's part of it. If you want to look into that,
I'm sure he has to have clearance. Maybe they won't give him the clearance to do it.
Approval.
Yeah.
I think it's just proof that it's not so much the money that allows you to do it. It's your ability.
I think it's also has to factor into the fact that there are people that have said that these astronauts did encounter living beings in the moon that told them do not come back here, and that's why we did not go back.
Yeah, I know. Is the weird part is so did something happen when that Indian? Is that why it tipped over?
So fat. Oh God, that looks so fake. That was like real. That was like 1980s CGI.
Well, let's just. I mean, the one thing I will give the conspiracy theorists and stuff credit, and NASA does not do himself any favors. It's like when they're trying to do this thing, and they start talking about we don't know how to get to the moon.
Yeah.
We don't, we lost the telemetry, data, we overwrote, we don't know how to get to the moon because of the radiation thing. I'm like, you have something sitting in the Smithsonian right now. All you have to do is just build another one of those. Like I said, NASA doesn't do themselves any favors when they come out and say stuff like that, because then it's just, when they say it, you're like, oh my God, here it comes. It's like people just have fodder. It's like, we never went. And I'm like, yeah, you can't say stuff like that and then expect, not to be clapped back.
How about I propose the theory that the space program was legit and they were trying to get to the moon, but they were smart enough to know that we need to make sure that we get to the moon, whether in real life or artificially. And they created the Francis Ford Coppola stuff. And at one point, some idiot took the real data and the fake videos and just put them in one pile and said, this is all moon stuff, and threw them in a room, and no one knows what's real and what's fake anymore.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's the thing, is that Kubrick, most likely created something for that part, just in the off chance that something went wrong.
Yep. I think that's what took place. That if we weren't successful, we have to prove to the world, because we had a Cold War going, if the Russians did it, we have to do it. And we got to be the first ones. And I think that's what took place. And then, at the end of it, we proved it. Probably cost us everything to get there, like a big bill, and we don't want to do that anymore.
Nah, we'll pay for the big
People
bills.
forgot about it, or it was stolen, or it was put in like one giant pile. Like these are all baseball cards from 1980.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I know, Cal, I know you can't comment, but mine was just more speculation. It's just, I'm surprised by now that Musk hasn't, he launched a Roadster, one of his Tesla Roads, he launched that into space, so that dummy, that the dummy inside the car is floating out there in space. I'm just surprised. It's like with that stuff, it's like, I'm just surprised that he has launched a capsule yet to land on the moon. I'm just shocked.
If I'm correct, and I heard this right, that Roadster was supposed to be one of his partners, and he had a conflict with them. And
yeah, that was one of the rumors that they're
one. He was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna send it."
Yeah, there is actually a body inside the suit, and it's not it's not a dummy. Yeah, well, one we will never know. Yeah, and it's just it's I think it's definitely one of those things that where as we're getting to the thing is pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I don't know. I just it's kind of like Cal he's talking here too. I won't want to know. It's Blue Origin's ever going to really catch up. I mean, like the New Glenn rocket. I don't know. I mean, you would hope that they could eventually hit on something that's going to be successful, but right now, I mean, they haven't even gotten out of low Earth orbit.
No.
I mean, they're basically spy plane height.
Yep.
They're not much higher than that. I mean, that's not really out in space, and that's why I said if that's you would hope that by now that they would be able to do. They'd be able to do that.
I don't think he's as serious because he knows he's not going to beat Musk. So why put all that energy in there? I think most of that shit's probably a tax write-off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sure.
Fire away.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
I like what you're saying there. Oh, no one
takes a little second to type. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those I think they gave Musk little, they because they were giving them contracts. I think that's why they gave Bezos one of those ones was. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's you want everybody to make it. ULA looks out of the two right now. ULA looks like the one that to me is going to be the most successful. The one that's really weird, and it's crazy how they keep stuff from being damaged. But have you seen that one? It's like a centrifuge that goes, it spins, and then it just launches it almost like a trebuchet, just launches it straight into space. It just almost looks like the way it's set up is just kind of like the carnival ride where it just goes and it just starts picking up speed and then just when it hits, it's just like boom, and that thing just goes straight up in a capsule. And that's what it's like. I'm amazed that it doesn't do anything to like the satellite or something during that whole process. Because have you guys seen that launch?
No. I haven't seen it.
I'll have to see if I can bring that up because that's one that's really.
Oh, I definitely wish for all of humanity to succeed. The problem with a lot of this technology, it's going to be used for nefarious purposes, and it's not going to help the 99%. They'll say it is, but it's not. It's really for the uber elite, and it's going to be for the uber elite for a long, long time. Until you can able win a trip to Floston Paradise, it's just going to be for people that are billionaires and trillionaires.
Yeah, we'll never make it there.
And they don't want people. They don't want the common people here, so they want to get away from the savages or whatever they call us down here, the bottom feeders, parasites that we are to them.
I mean, let's just be honest.
That's what
I've never seen this video right here. This is an unfortunate, really unfortunate design. Look, this kind of ranks up there with Bezos's penis rocket.
And the entire system can rotate.
Yaney's company has been at it since 2014.
Yeah,
but
so
most of the construction on this project took place during the COVID years. It's an idea designed
said
for
the
a
word
new space age.
Yeah, so see, it basically it's kind of like a slingshot. It just goes round, and then just boom, shoots it straight out.
This is
really
essentially a sling launch system, which we were using to hunt with 50,000
spin launch.
It's simply using modern materials and encased in a large vacuum chamber. So what you have is an arm that slowly rotates around and around, driven by an electric motor. And once the tip velocity is sufficient for it to be able to carry a spacecraft into space, we simply let go, and it travels outside of the vacuum chamber through the atmosphere in about 30 seconds into space.
The sling in this case is a carbon fiber
tether. So here it kind of shows like this. They'd be doing this. They'd just be going round, and all of a sudden just
5,000
bam,
miles
it launches
an hour,
it,
sending it through an airtight membrane, hurtling towards space, and eliminating the need to lift all that fuel used in traditional rockets.
We have only one problem: we can't get you back.
Yeah. You're on a high-speed glider, type thing that there's no return, there's no fuel. We went totally green. Guess what? You're screwed.
People are just like they're about to blow. It's like that ride at the fair. Just the spin ride, the
Gravitron, and you're just
well, we made it. Just vomit,
and all of a sudden, where you thought you were just gonna slide, it just shoots everybody off.
Yeah. You're climbing up the walls. Fuck
yeah.
That.
No, that's kind of the thing. It's just So I don't know if you guys ever saw that spin launch. Yeah. So that's an interesting one.
No. I used to be into this stuff, and it's just whatever.
Yeah.
You the giant meteor.
No, it's
Chris, where'd you go?
I had to check a text message. The wife was texting me.
Gotcha. That's the queen, not the wife, the queen.
The old lady.
Ooh, don't go there. Yep. Maybe the new.
But
that's your call. I would welcome, but that's your call.
Yep, that's so well, it's almost that time. So all right, everybody. So I'm trying to look at the calendar. I forgot to look at the calendar here. What's coming up? Who's there? Who's next? We've got Paul Eisen is next week.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, we've got Jack Carey back to see where him and Brian got it right and where they got it wrong from the prediction update. So we're finally at that point where it's like it's going to be the 3rd of April. So
3rd of April, yeah. No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
actually, so extended to the 12th, but because I've been talking to people and I'll say it right now, the 25th of March to the 12th of April. If you haven't gotten yourself in touch with God, you really want to, and trust me. I would say have some supplies for at least a month, backup stuff, because I think something's going down.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people waking up on the 9th that are going to be, they're going to be disappointed.
That's fine.
There's a lot of people saying that's going to be the second coming of Christ, and I think this is going to be that pastor.
I'm not talking the second coming of Christ.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that say this is the return, and I'm like, yeah. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up on the 9th and be just a little disappointed.
No, I'm not talking about Armageddon or anything. I'm talking about nuclear conflict, big war, military might. It's on TV. It affects everybody. Plus, I'm also talking something not of either huge natural disasters going off or something coming into this planet from outside of this planet and doing something majorly damage. That's what I'm talking about. And you can cue the 3 days of darkness on there. Like it's going to be, it will be like biblical, but I think it's going to be, this is one of the reasons why these people built bunkers, and they're all building bunkers, and they're all done. They're going to be in there. And
I think my wife was right. I think they're just bored.
We'll find out.
They already have the yacht. They already have the island. They already have the mansions. What's the only thing they don't have? The elite survival bunker.
There used to be like there used to be a website where it was like Villains Are Us, where they had like volcano hideout.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. It was really funny. But on a serious note, during the Passover happens in April. It ends when Ramadan ends, and on the 9th, that's also the 8th to the 9th is the eclipse, the solar eclipse. The 25th is a lunar eclipse. And I would say eat lamb chops or buy a lamb shank, take the blood out of it, and during the Passover, when it comes, look at your calendar, put it across your threshold.
Allah.
Not Allah.
No, halal. What's it called? The meat?
Halal.
Halal. It's the equivalent of kosher. It's just it conforms to religious standards.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That chicken is really good. We got a chicken spot by us that
I was just talking about it today. And I used, you go out in New York City, you get those guys with the kebabs and the chicken, and they give you the rice, and then one of the guys is like, dude, make sure they put extra white sauce. And I'm like, do you know what's in that white sauce? Do you want to know what's in that white sauce?
I don't know. Should I stay away from the white sauce?
Yeah, but it's grilled chicken. It's great. It's like shawarma. You can't go wrong with that. That is delicious. But I'm telling you,
you can, unless it's that one where they say it's lamb or beef, and it's actually just a combination of chicken and stuff. And
God bless you. If you want to make your own, gyro meat, is beef, lamb, and pork, I believe. And you put it all together, you mix it together, and you make a big log, and it's the same thing. Put some spice in there.
Yep, you just got to layer it.
Yeah, and then you just shave it. You just put it together, and then you cook it like you can do it on a rotisserie, but then you could just shave it. When you shave it, you're going to get those pieces out, and it looks just like souvlaki or whatever it is, or gyro, or whatever the hell it is.
Allergies. You should listen to him if you're on the phone with him and he hits one of the oak trees. Yeah, he sounds like a cokehead that just took a hit. Yeah. He's just over there. he just goes into the sneezing fit. You can tell whenever he smacks a tree branch. Because all of a sudden he just
I heard him today. I was like, what the fuck? Where the hell are you? I hear dogs and shit. And he's like, yo, we're getting tires, Craig and I. And I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, luckily I brought him along. I wouldn't have been able to pick a couple of those truck tires up. Those things are, those things are beasts.
I got a 10-minute workout. Shit, I picked them up like a wet shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's it's good. They have Calvis. Yeah, I would really like to go to like Contact in the desert and stuff, see, because that's one of those things I like to meet up with you and visit Mark and Antonio, because I'm excited about that new, for anybody that doesn't think that Skywatch, follow that too, because they actually, I'm going to botch exactly what it is, but he created a new device, for watching the skies, and it looks really cool.
Mark?
Mm-hmm.
He's a freaking genius. I actually have one of his models in my room. I got it from him. I'm friends with him.
That's
Yeah, he's a great guy. Love Mark.
And so it's fun listening to those things. It's King. That's why we're talking. I think it's just because they're bored. They've got nothing else to do, and it just really is the. Yeah, beer number 3. How do you get in touch with your sensitive side?
Here it is.
You flip people off.
I'll fucking tell you later. Give me a couple more minutes, and I'll fucking tell you.
Put a couple drinks in them.
No, Dave gave me some really great olive oil. You would like it. The olive oil, it's imported olive oil. It's freaking expensive. I try to pay for it, but he was really nice about it. He deals with food, and it's buttery. So if you use that and substitute a butter, no one knows. You wouldn't even notice. It's delicious.
You got the finger. Goal accomplished.
Yeah. Tell them
you're on a boat, so just put up the banner. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody knows that reference? You get a couple extra bonus points.
You can go yourself, okay?
Yeah,
yeah.
Ron was talking to Sports Mark. Yeah, it really is. It's like if you go over there, it's like through the super chat or something like that. You get support the stuff they're doing. Michael, he gives away binoculars, telescopes.
Oh yeah.
During those live, so you go there and it's a random drawing, so you get a chance to do those things, and it's really cool just getting to watch those things. I can't try to plug them whenever I can, but yeah, all right. So Paul Eisen, we're visit back with him again, and then like I said, then we got the prediction show. See where we got that, and then Jim Willis is after that, and then Maria Wheatley. Hopefully, we get her back talking about Stonehenge, and then starting the 24th, we're going to have mark your calendars. There's going to be a new announcement on April 24th. Three Beards announcement on the 24th, April 24th. Mark your calendars.
Yep.
So, like I said, we'll prepare for this. So, everybody, thank you for the support. Thank you. Once again, Ert Radio. Go listen. Go check that out. Set up your account. Follow Ron. He's putting out quite a few shows as well. As well as listening to us, Into the Outer Realms, Dimensions of the Supernatural with Maureen. So definitely check those out. But everybody, thank you for watching.
Sorry.
Appreciate it, and we will see you next one here. Like I said, so yeah, and hopefully everybody had a good time. Just like we will see you all for the next show. All right. You guys, any final words?
Good night.
Good night. All right. Let's go with here. We're gonna go with Brian's favorite ones. All right. Here we go.